I was in the hospital for several days, and it was terrifying. It happened before I even knew it.
Meade Stoll still remembers that day about 20 years ago when he was cutting a tree branch and things went wrong in the blink of an eye. He'd cut branches like these countless times before.
I wasn't paying attention. I was going too fast. I reached down to cut it off, second nature, and it was under pressure, and I paid for it.
Today, a scar blazes across Stoll's forehead, a vivid reminder of his close call and his reason for teaching others about chainsaw safety. The Allegheny County Farm Bureau organized this demonstration at Dabney S. Lancaster Community College.
We kind of learn by trial and error what you can do and what you can't do. I think every one of us has a chainsaw story.
This part of the country, part of Virginia, chainsaw is a very common item. You can acquire a chainsaw anywhere, but and there is a safety manual, but you don't, it doesn't automatically come with a lot of awareness about how to safely operate it outside of the reading that you get when you purchase one.
Allegheny County Farm Bureau President John Quantz says his board of directors organized the course to serve their members and neighbors in their heavily forested community. A lot of firewood is cut in the summer by loggers and amateurs alike.
Before you take your hand off of it and you pull it back, bump the throttle.
About 50 farmers, first responders, loggers, and landowners learned how to properly hold a chainsaw, to start it and keep the steel links and teeth in good working order, along with actual cutting techniques.
It's a sharp tool, it's fast, and it can do a lot of damage quick if you're not careful. Obviously, the benefit is to have people operating a saw safely and hopefully saving people's lives or preventing serious injuries.
Chainsaw injuries are quite common. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report 36,000 people are treated in U.S. emergency departments for accidents related to chainsaws every year.
I've had friends hurt and killed. It's something we see every single day. We'll move in on most of the timber, a lot of timber we cut is on a farm, and we'll move into and talk to the landowner, and then we'll get out in the woods and see some of his stumps and some things he's been doing, and we're like, how did he not get killed doing it?
I've got a technique that I like to use if the chain's new.
This is kind of near and dear to me because, this is what we do every day, and I like for other people to learn the way we do it. We try to do things the right way. We try not to cut any corners because that's when stuff happens.
The safety program stressed the importance of wearing body, eye, ear, and head protection, and approaching each cutting project with a safety plan.
Every tree we set it up and look for hazards and dead limbs and safety things all around it, and then to have you a good escape route before you release that tree to cut it down if you're cutting a tree, to get away from it. Most limbs come back to the stump, and so if you go on a 45 away from the stump, you have a whole lot better chance of not getting hit than you did if you just stood there at the base of it and watched it fall.
Representatives from High Country Logging and the college's Forest Management Technology Department answered questions at the workshop. They focused on preventing accidents instead of relying on a quick response.
Think before you get yourself in trouble. We have a lot of great first responders in the county, but we have a lot of territory to cover and a lot of acres on farms. So if an incident happens, it can be some time before there is help in the form of a rescue or whatever is required.
Stoll is living proof that every safety precaution matters and every second counts.
Lots of times that's what happens, and that's how you get hurt. You get in a hurry. You want to get things done, and you neglect safety. You take your mind off what you're doing, and that's not good. That's when things happen.
The Virginia Farm Bureau Young Farmers Committee supports safety training events like this one around the state. Safety-minded farmers and loggers alike agree the best advice is to know your equipment, work carefully, and don't cut corners. In Allegheny County, Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde reporting.